The abduction. Liam Halverson, a 28-year-old engineer, lived a fairly ordinary life in the bustling city of New York. His days were filled with work, gym sessions, and the occasional night out with friends. Little did he know that his life was about to take an extraordinary turn. One evening, as Liam walked home from work, an eerie light suddenly engulfed him. He felt a strange sensation wash over his body, and before he could comprehend what was happening, he found himself floating upwards, his feet no longer touching the ground. Panic gripped him as he realized he was being pulled towards a colossal, otherworldly spacecraft hovering above the city skyline. Inside the spacecraft, Liam found himself in a dimly lit cavernous room. The air was thick with an unfamiliar scent, and the walls were adorned with intricate alien patterns. He sat up, his heart pounding in his chest, and took in his surroundings. It was then that he noticed he wasn't alone. Dozens of other humans, all appearing just as confused and frightened as Liam, were scattered throughout the room. Some huddled together, seeking comfort in their shared predicament, while others paced nervously, their eyes wide with fear. As Liam tried to make sense of his situation, a tall, slender alien being entered the room. Its skin was a shimmering, iridescent blue, and its eyes were large and almond-shaped. The alien surveyed the group of humans before speaking in a language that Liam couldn't understand. Another alien, smaller in stature, stepped forward and began translating. "Greetings, humans," the translator conveyed. "You have been chosen to participate in a crucial mission. Our queen requires your assistance, and you will be taken to her immediately. Resistance is futile." Liam's mind raced with questions. Why had he been chosen? What did the alien queen want with him and the others? He didn't have long to ponder these thoughts, as the aliens began to usher the group out of the room and down a long, winding corridor. As they walked, Liam couldn't help but marvel at the advanced technology that surrounded him. The walls seemed to pulse with energy, and strange, floating orbs illuminated their path. Despite his fear, a small part of him was filled with awe at the incredible feat of engineering that the spacecraft represented. Finally, they reached a grand, ornate door. The alien stepped aside, and the door slowly slid open, revealing a vast, throne-like room. Sitting upon a raised dais was a figure that could only be the alien queen. Her presence was imposing, her gaze piercing as she surveyed the group of humans before her. Liam swallowed hard, his heart racing as he wondered what fate awaited him and the others in this strange, alien world. Little did he know that his journey was only just beginning, and that the alien queen had a unique plan in store for him, one that would test his resilience and push him to his limits. As the queen rose from her throne, Liam braced himself for whatever lay ahead, knowing that his life would never be the same again. The alien queen's decree. The alien queen stood tall and regal, her presence commanding the attention of every human in the room. Her skin was a deep, rich purple, and her eyes shone with an otherworldly intelligence. She studied the group before her gaze lingering on each individual as if assessing their worth. Liam felt a shiver run down his spine as the queen's eyes met his. There was something unnerving about the way she looked at him, as if she could see into the very depths of his soul. The queen began to speak, her voice a melodic, haunting tone that echoed throughout the chamber. The translator stepped forward once again, conveying her words to the humans. "I am Queen Zora of the Xentry," the translator began. "You have been brought here for a purpose. My daughter, Princess Aria, must learn the ways of your kind. She must understand the resilience and determination that has allowed your species to thrive in the face of adversity." Liam's brow furrowed as he tried to make sense of the queen's words. Why would an advanced alien race need to learn from humans? The queen continued, "One of you will be chosen to serve as my daughter's guide and mentor. You will face trials and challenges together, and through these experiences, she will gain the knowledge and understanding she requires." A murmur of confusion and apprehension rippled through the group of humans. Liam glanced around, wondering who among them would be chosen for this daunting task. As if reading his thoughts, Queen Zura's gaze settled on Liam once more. "You," she said, pointing a long, slender finger in his direction. "Liam Halverson. You will be the one to guide my daughter." Liam's eyes widened in shock. He wanted to protest, to say that there must be some mistake, but the words died on his lips as he saw the determination in the Queen's eyes. The translator spoke again. "Liam Halverson, you have been chosen for your unique combination of intelligence, adaptability, and strength of character. You will face the trials ahead with Princess Aria, and together you will learn and grow." Liam's mind raced as he tried to process the enormity of the task before him. He had never asked for this responsibility, but he knew that he had no choice but to accept it. As if on cue, a figure emerged from behind the Queen's throne. Princess Aria was strikingly beautiful, with skin a lighter shade of purple than her mother's and eyes that sparkled like stars. She regarded Liam with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Queen Zura spoke once more, her voice firm and unyielding. "Your journey begins now. You will face the trials together, and you will not return until my daughter has learned what she must. Go forth, Liam Halverson, and show us the true strength of the human spirit." With those final words, the Queen dismissed them, and Liam found himself being led away by a group of alien guards, Princess Aria at his side. As they walked, he couldn't help but wonder what trials lay ahead and whether he had the strength to face them. But deep down, Liam knew that he had no choice. He had been chosen for this task, and he would see it through, no matter the cost. With a deep breath, he steeled himself for the challenges to come, ready to face whatever lay ahead with determination and resilience. Trials and tribulations, Liam and Princess Aria were led to a vast, sprawling arena, its walls stretching high into the air. The ground beneath their feet was a strange, spongy material that seemed to absorb their footsteps. Above them, a transparent dome revealed a star-studded sky, unlike anything Liam had ever seen on Earth. As they stood at the entrance of the arena, an alien guard handed Liam a small, spherical device. "This will be your guide," the guard explained. "It will provide you with instructions for each trial you must face." Liam nodded, gripping the device tightly in his hand. He glanced over at Princess Aria, who stood tall and proud, her eyes fixed on the arena before them. The device suddenly came to life, projecting a holographic image of the first trial. It showed a series of obstacles, each more daunting than the last. Liam's heart raced as he realized the scale of the challenge before them. "We must work together," Princess Aria said, her voice calm and resolute. "My mother has chosen you for a reason, Liam Halverson. Let us prove her wisdom." Liam took a deep breath, nodding in agreement. Together, they stepped into the arena, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The first trial was a test of agility and coordination. They had to navigate a treacherous maze of moving platforms, leaping from one to another while avoiding the pitfalls that lay between them. Liam's years of playing video games and his natural athleticism served him well, and he quickly found a rhythm, guiding Princess Aria through the maze with quick reflexes and precise timing. As they completed the first trial, the device chimed, indicating their success, but there was little time to celebrate, as the next challenge was already upon them. The second trial tested their problem-solving skills. They were presented with a complex puzzle, a series of interlocking gears and mechanisms that had to be manipulated in a specific order to unlock the path forward. Liam's engineering background proved invaluable as he worked to decipher the puzzle, his mind racing as he analyzed each component. Princess Aria watched in fascination as Liam worked, her own keen intellect absorbing his process. Together, they solved the puzzle, the gears clicking into place with a satisfying thunk. As they progressed through the trials, Liam and Princess Aria began to develop a rhythm, their strengths complementing each other. Liam's quick thinking and adaptability were matched by Aria's keen observation skills and strategic mind. But the trials grew harder, pushing them to their limits. They faced physical challenges that tested their endurance, mental challenges that strained their intellect, and emotional challenges that forced them to confront their deepest fears. Through it all, Liam never wavered. He drew upon the resilience and determination that had brought him this far, pushing himself to keep going even when every muscle in his body screamed for rest. And as he watched Princess Aria face each challenge with grace and strength, he began to understand why the Queen had chosen him. It wasn't just about his individual skills. It was about the way he inspired those around him, the way his human spirit could light the way even in the darkest of times. As they completed the final trial, a sense of triumph washed over them. They had faced the challenges head-on and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. But as they stepped out of the arena, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that their journey was far from over. The trials had only been the beginning, and he knew that there were more challenges waiting for them on the horizon. With a deep breath, he turned to face Princess Aria, ready to take on whatever lay ahead together. A budding friendship. As Liam and Princess Aria exited the arena, a sense of camaraderie had begun to grow between them. The trials they had faced together had forged a bond, a shared experience that transcended their vastly different backgrounds. They were led to a small, comfortable room where they could rest and recuperate before the next phase of their journey. As they sat together, Liam couldn't help but marvel at the strange turn his life had taken. "I never imagined I'd be here," he said, his voice tinged with wonder. "Working together with an alien princess to overcome challenges on a distant planet." Princess Aria smiled, her eyes sparkling with amusement. "And I never imagined I would find such a capable and resilient partner in a human," she replied. They fell into easy conversation, sharing stories of their lives and their worlds. Liam spoke of Earth, of the bustling cities and the vast, sprawling landscapes. He described the diversity of human culture, the art, music, and literature that had shaped his species. In turn, Princess Aria shared tales of her own world, of the advanced technology, and the complex social structures that governed her people. She spoke of the challenges she faced as a member of the royal family, the expectations and responsibilities that weighed upon her. As they talked, Liam began to see Princess Aria in a new light. Behind her regal bearing and alien features, he saw a kindred spirit, someone who longed for connection and understanding, just as he did. In the days that followed, Liam and Princess Aria continued to work together, facing new challenges and obstacles at every turn. But as they did, their bond only grew stronger. They learned to anticipate each other's needs, to communicate without words. When Liam struggled with a particularly difficult task, Princess Aria was there to offer guidance and support. When Aria faltered, Liam was there to lend his strength and encouragement. Together, they began to see the true value of their partnership. It wasn't just about completing the trials or fulfilling the Queen's decree. It was about learning from each other, growing together in ways they had never imagined. As they faced each new challenge, Liam found himself drawing upon the lessons he had learned from Princess Aria. He began to see problems from new angles, to approach obstacles with a newfound clarity and purpose. And as he did, he saw a change in Princess Aria as well. She began to embrace her own strengths, to trust in her abilities and instincts. She grew more confident, more self-assured, and Liam couldn't help but feel a swell of pride at the role he had played in her growth. But even as their friendship blossomed, Liam knew that their journey was far from over. The Queen's decree still hung over them, a constant reminder of the task they had been set. And as they prepared to face their greatest challenge yet, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that everything they had learned, every bond they had forged, would be put to the ultimate test. With a deep breath, he turned to face Princess Aria, his eyes locked with hers. "Whatever happens," he said, his voice steady and sure, "we face it together." Princess Aria nodded, her own expression one of determination and resolve. "Together," she agreed, and in that moment, Liam knew that they could face anything as long as they had each other. The final challenge. As Liam and Princess Aria stepped into the final arena, A sense of foreboding washed over them. The air was thick with tension, and the silence was broken only by the distant hum of alien machinery. Before them stood a towering structure, a labyrinth of twisting corridors and hidden dangers. The device in Liam's hand pulsed with an urgent light, indicating that this was their final challenge. "We've come this far," Liam said, his voice steady despite the uncertainty that gnawed at him. "We can't turn back now." Princess Aria nodded, her eyes fixed on the labyrinth before them. "My mother wouldn't have set this task if she didn't believe we could succeed," she said. "We must trust in ourselves and in each other." Together, they stepped into the labyrinth, the walls closing in around them as they navigated the twisting paths. The challenges they faced were unlike anything they had encountered before. Physical obstacles that tested the limits of their endurance, mental puzzles that strained the boundaries of their intellect, and emotional trials that forced them to confront their deepest fears. At every turn, Liam and Princess Aria were pushed to their breaking point, but they refused to give in, drawing strength from the bond they had forged and the lessons they had learned. When Liam faltered, his body battered and his mind exhausted, Princess Aria was there to lift him up, to remind him of the resilience and determination that had brought him this far. And when Aria struggled, her confidence shaken and her resolve tested, Liam was there to lend his support, to show her the true strength that lay within her. Together, they pressed on, each challenge overcome, bringing them one step closer to their goal. But as they neared the heart of the labyrinth, they found themselves faced with a final, seemingly insurmountable obstacle. Before them stood a vast chasm, a seemingly bottomless void that stretched out into the darkness. The only way across was a narrow, precarious bridge, its surface slick and treacherous. Liam's heart raced as he stared out into the abyss, his mind reeling with the enormity of the task before them. But as he looked to Princess Aria, he saw a fierce determination in her eyes, a resolve that matched his own. "We cross together," she said, her voice unwavering. "One step at a time, side by side." Liam nodded, his hand finding hers as they stepped out onto the bridge. The wind whipped around them, the chasm yawning below, but they pressed on, their steps sure and their hearts united. With each step, Liam felt a newfound strength coursing through him, a power born of the bond he shared with Princess Aria. And as they neared the other side, he knew that they had faced their greatest challenge and emerged stronger than ever before. As they stepped off the bridge and into the light beyond, Liam felt a sense of triumph wash over him. They had done it. They had completed the final challenge and proven themselves worthy of the Queen's trust. But even as they savored their victory, Liam knew that their journey was not yet over. The lessons they had learned, the bond they had forged, these were things that would stay with them forever, guiding them through whatever challenges lay ahead. And as he looked to Princess Aria, her eyes shining with pride and affection, he knew that he had found more than just a partner in their trials. He had found a true friend, a kindred spirit who would stand by his side, no matter what the future held. A new understanding. As Liam and Princess Aria emerged from the final challenge, they were greeted by a sight that took their breath away. The alien queen stood before them, her regal presence filling the chamber with an air of power and authority. But as they approached, Liam saw something in the queen's eyes that he had not expected, a glimmer of pride, a warmth that spoke of a deep respect for the journey they had undertaken. "Liam Halverson and Princess Aria," the queen said, her voice rich and resonant. "You have faced the trials set before you with courage, determination, and a spirit of unity that has surpassed even my greatest expectations." Liam felt a swell of emotion rise within him, a mix of pride and humility that brought tears to his eyes. He glanced at Princess Aria, saw the same emotions reflected in her own expression. "Through your journey," the queen continued, "you have shown the true strength of the human spirit, a resilience and adaptability that has allowed your species to thrive in the face of adversity. And you, Princess Aria, have learned the value of these qualities, the power that comes from embracing them fully." Princess Aria bowed her head, her voice thick with emotion as she spoke. "I have learned so much, Mother," she said, "not just about the strength of the human spirit, but about the strength that lies within myself. Liam has shown me what it means to face challenges head-on, to never give up even when the odds seem insurmountable." The Queen nodded, a smile playing at the corners of her lips. "And that, my daughter, is the true lesson of this journey, the strength that you have discovered within yourself, the bonds you have forged with Liam. These are things that will serve you well as you take your place as a leader of our people." Liam felt a rush of emotion at the Queen's words, a sense of pride and accomplishment that went beyond anything he had ever known. He had set out on this journey as a stranger in a strange land, but he had emerged as something more, a friend, a partner, a true hero in every sense of the word. As the Queen stepped forward, she placed a hand on each of their shoulders, her touch gentle but firm. "Liam Halverson," she said, her voice filled with warmth, "you have proven yourself worthy of the trust we have placed in you. And now it is time for you to return to your own world, to share the lessons you have learned with your people." Liam's heart skipped a beat at the thought of returning home, of sharing his incredible journey with the world he had left behind. But even as he felt the pull of his own world, he knew that a part of him would always remain here, forever changed by the experiences he had shared with Princess Aria. "Thank you," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "for everything. I will never forget what I have learned here, the bonds I have forged." Princess Aria stepped forward, her hand finding his. "And I will never forget you, Liam Halverson," she said, her eyes shining with affection. "You have shown me the true power of friendship, of unity in the face of adversity. And for that, I will always be grateful." As they stood there, hand in hand, Liam knew that their journey had come to an end. But even as he prepared to return to his own world, he knew that the lessons he had learned, the bonds he had forged, would stay with him forever. And as he looked to the future, he knew that he would face whatever challenges lay ahead with the same spirit of determination and resilience that had brought him this far, the spirit of a true hero, forged in the fires of an alien world.